Markets under pressure today. If it's not Greece, then it's always the other countries that are starting to affect overall sentiment. Do you think that there's a chance we could actually keep on moving higher above the 34,000 level? I spoke to Judy Padiachi, technical analyst, a little earlier, and she's not convinced. She thinks that we're going to see the market coming under pressure.
There does still seem to be quite a bit of resistance up around these current lofty levels. A lot of that as a result of the uncertainty that we're still seeing on an ongoing basis. If we have any substantial clarity on events in Europe and continued positive data out of the States, maybe we do see things break out from here. But at this stage, given the backdrop, it seems to be stuck in a bit of a range at the moment.
Let's just touch on some of the corporate news out as well. Mondi expecting full year headline earnings per share to jump by as much as 53%. We know that it's spinning off its South African packaging business, focusing on the likes of Russia as well. Do you think that Mondi is starting to realign its business and that we could actually see the paper maker doing well going forward, a sector that overall has been under significant pressure since even before the crisis?
Mondi, it seems, has actually beat on their guidance that they provided today. It has been a good performer relative to the likes of Sappi, which has been an underperformer of late. It looks like a lot of the good news at this stage seeming to be priced into Mondi.
Do you think that Mondi is a good buy for you, Michael? What is your prognosis on that?
Mondi, we still have a buy on the stock itself. It's probably nearing the top end of our expectations.
Let's also touch on SPAR, that company out with sales update. December, or quarter end of December, up around 14% on the sales front to around 11 billion rand. Double-digit growth here. Are you happy with the numbers?
SPAR provided very little detail in those numbers, but it looks like revenue-wise a decent enough result. Maybe a little bit of pressure coming on the cost side. One
of the reasons that the JSE All Share has actually pushed forward to new record highs and the top 40 has remained back is because the industrial sector has actually pushed the overall bourse higher. One of the sectors within the industrial space has been the retail sector. Do you think that food retailers are the way to go right now?
Food retailers still seem to be more of a defensive play than anything else. You've actually also seen a good performance in the likes of Target Brands and AVR in that sector.
Let's look at Telkom. The company is still under a lot of pressure with regards to what we see from an operational perspective. And then we heard news with regards to a 3.5 billion rand penalty for Telkom. It seems more bad news for the company.
It looks like no matter what Telkom does, it doesn't manage to actually get any good news coming through. It seems to be one knock after another. A lot of that probably priced in, but on the day I saw it lose another 2.5%.
Would you say, Michael, with regards to what we see, the interest coming through from Korea, is this going to be one of the positive elements that investors will be looking at?
Look, at this point, dependent what comes about from the Korean discussions, probably if there is something that is concrete, they probably provide a good platform and maybe some expertise to give them a push in the right direction.
Let's look at some of the gainers and losers on the top 40 today. We've already spoken on Mondi, which was up 4.3%. Mondi Limited up almost 4%. Vodacom doing quite well. It's up 2.3%. It's sitting at 103 rand and 50 cents. Vodacom versus MTN, the telecom space still seems quite lucrative.
It still looks like there's decent enough interest in Vodacom out around there, even at these levels, which probably looking a little lofty at this stage. There is still solid interest at the lower levels in MTN.
And the likes of Amplats is up around 2.2%. Company out with results, not a fantastic set of results, but it has been one of those sectors that has been very hard hit. Is this year the year for Amplats and Implats and the overall platinum sector, in fact?
If you see a pickup in platinum prices, which are depressed at this point, and that particularly with respect to Amplats, which provided downward guidance, maybe not quite as bad as one expected, but if they start to resolve some of the operational issues, platinum might be that area of recent underperformance that maybe outperforms going forward.
On the bottom end, Anglo-American down 2%, Lonmin shedding 2%, Kumba is down 1.6%, and ArcelorMittal shedding around 1.4%. Pretty much a mixed bag in a sense, but it seems that resources still dominate the negative side of things today.
It looks like at this point, and that is more or less in line with the weakness in that sector offshore rather than anything particularly domestic.